Hi, today let's talk about uses and gratifications theory, chapter 13. This is the last of the media theories, which are, as we said, classified as empirical post-positivist theories. Uses and gratifications theory basically tells us that people choose to use particular media to meet particular needs. Simple as that. We're going to look, though, at some of the other features of it and try to understand how we might use it in our own work, research, or just, for an interesting conversation. The theory at a glance tells you that, what do people do with media? That's the question we're looking at, and why. We're saying they use media to meet particular needs. Then we have a practical paragraph here that talks about people being goal-oriented in their use of social media. They're going to use it for particular purposes. Those purposes might not be conscious. They might be as general as I want people on social media to think well of me. So if people post that they lost their pet, I'm going to post a sympathetic message. If someone posts that they got the job of their dreams, I'm going to post congratulations. So my goal is going to be reflected in how I use the media and also in what social media I use. We know that we could use a great variety of social media: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, and particular Twitter. Particular media will be used to satisfy particular needs. This is the theory in a nutshell. As usual, it talks about what assumptions underlie this. Basically, we are assuming that people are conscious actors, that that they're going to be goal-oriented and they're going to purposively choose a particular media. We're also going to understand that media may compete with each other. You might be able to satisfy a particular need or goal using any number of media. Which one you choose may be influenced by a lot of things. For example, do you have to pay for the media? Are all your friends on Instagram rather than Snapchat? Many different things can influence your choice of media. It is also assuming a great deal of self-awareness on the part of the media user. And it's also saying, I don't know if you've seen those shirts that sometimes people wear, only God can judge me. Well, it's basically saying that only the consumer audience can make value judgments about media content. In other words, I'm going to judge whether this media and its content is meeting my needs. So there are some key concepts. We talked about the idea of having an active audience. And on page 219, further back in the chapter, it talks a lot about what makes up an active audience, the idea of intentionality, that kind of thing. So you might want to read that to get a little better understanding of what is meant by an active audience. Also that audiences' freedom and autonomy toward choosing mass media may be relative, and it may vary from time to time or from subject to subject. It may be relative to their, for example, the speed of their internet connection, etc. And then it talks about what are some consumer activities, some things that consumers do. They judge the usefulness of a particular medium. They're intentional. They may have other motivations that go beyond the media. What media they select will reflect their interests and preferences. And they may be impervious. That means they don't react to influences outside themselves. So these are all discussed on pages 218 and 219. And if you read those, you'll get a much deeper understanding. It points out here that this theory, uses and gratifications, focuses on the audience members. It privileges their role in the mass communication process because the audience is the ones that choose the media to be used. And it's also what they call a limited effects theory. And that basically means that it doesn't have huge, strong effects. It basically just explains media choice and not much else. It really recognizes audience members' power. Of course, we're only going to choose media so long as it bolsters our idea of our own intelligence and self-esteem. And also, the groups we are members of may limit the power of media. So this is an interesting slide, and you can, read it at your leisure. But basically, it talks about the needs that can be met, and there are different types of needs, as you can see, and different media may meet different needs. And social situations can also generate needs that can be met by media. So these are just factors in an audience members' situations, both personal and social, that can influence their choices of media. Uses and gratifications has been used a lot in media studies. For example, when studies are being made of gaming, they will often look at what games, what game playing technology is chosen by particular sectors of the audience based on the needs that they need to be met. So this basically ends our section on theories that deal with the media, post-positivist empirical theories that deal with the media. So we're going to be moving on from here to our final theory, our final post-positivist empirical theory, which is face negotiation theory, which deals with culture and diversity. Thanks for listening, and as always, let me know if you have questions.